going on? What's everybody doing? So I go live for a minute here. Finishing up this carburetor for the C's33 that I made the video for. Forgot to do one of the part 3 of 3 on that rebuild. So, don't be too mad. I forgot how that goes on that. Well, we're gonna have to wait on that one. Since we're the Fortec, so you can't set that lever on there the way I was gonna, because it's not a Jato for a Fortec. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Remember, factory settings closed. 60s. Factory 332525 arc settings closed. And 4 turns out. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's your factory set. The rest of that is history. Remember, it's okay to grease your O-rings. It's actually a good idea. Grease, a little bit of oil. Helps stop them from getting rolled or pinched or hung up and dragging and ruined. That's what you really don't want. Especially for these nitro motors. Because air leakage, fuel leakage is not what you want to have. So, it creates you an issue there, you know. Remember, if you're not sure about your O-rings, replace them. You want to make sure you're sealed. If you're not sealed, you're going to have an issue. You'll be tuning, and frustrated because you can't hold a tune, you're retuning. You shouldn't have to retune, guys. Constantly. It's not a thing, fellas. Hope everybody's having great, happy holidays, so on and so forth. You'll have a good Christmas. Alright. Now what else we need to do here? So, motor. O-ring doesn't look terrible, but I am tearing it out and changing it because it was a seized motor that sat, and you don't know. I don't want to have a leaking issue, tuning issue, so I'm going to make sure it's all got a new O-ring. This is for that other Fortec, the second Fortec of 3. Already played with number 3. Has anybody got any questions? Anybody on here with me? If you're just joining, whatever. Like and subscribe. Welcome to the Jato Junkies. Like I said, and there. New seals. Make sure you're good to go, man. The better you can do on ensuring everything's sealed and new and tight, the better off you're going to be, I promise. Especially with these 3.3s and nitros as a whole. Yeah, that's a nice fit there. Woo! Yeah. I always got to check where that's supposed to be in relation to the car. Put the flywheel back on and the clutch and bell gear. But the car still needs to be cleaned up a little bit, so we got to do that before I do any of the rest of this. We got to set the position of the fuel inlet and the throttle lever for the actual car, the Fortec. Can't set them as if it was a Jato because it's not a Jato. Plus I still got to scrub the motor mount. So I also need to tear a easy start off of one of my cars and get the one-way roller hack done on it. One of the cars I play with more regularly. My little monster, my little freak, that's what I call it. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Facebook. You guys want to get a hold of me, have any questions or whatever, you can look us up on Facebook, Jato Junkies. You could also email me, jato.junkies@gmail. Shoot me a message on there if you have questions, whatever. Add us on Facebook, message us on Facebook, message me on Facebook, sorry. And I'll do what I can to help you. See if we can bust this one-way roller repair out real quick and do some driving. Got that. We got in the car. Also remember, guys, clean your air filters. That really helps when it comes to any type of motor, nitro, gasoline, car, whatever, and running well and staying consistent. So buy some spare elements. Keep them on hand so you can wash and oil and not miss out on playtime because you're waiting for your element to dry. I mean, clean the whole thing, including the outside of the pre-filter. These can be a pain in the butt. But I'll tell you what. It is worth it, especially when you're saving money. Little one-way rollers things are pricey. And they don't necessarily need to be replaced. It's just something that happens from running. Over time, kind of just get smoothed out, and they stop gripping. And most people replace them when it gets to that point, but you don't have to replace them. I promise. Just to show you here what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what it sounds like. A pesky little one-way roller slipping. It's frustrating, especially when you start to, oh man, I gotta tear everything apart. Of course, now it doesn't want to slip. But when I put fuel in this sucker, it slips like always. But it's okay. Still gonna tear it off and fix it real quick. And the fix is super simple. You do it with a Dremel. You do it with a file, sandpaper. So of course you gotta get your exhaust off there. You'll have to take the one side of the roll hoop, easy start tower, or you have to take the whole motor off. So that's up to you. I personally am just gonna pop the easy start tower off. It's a little quicker, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Just make sure it's free. We also got to fix my harness on there. I got one of the terminals is busted, but you can get new terminals and fix it. So then you'll need to take the dirt guard, loosen it. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3 screws on it. I actually got new dirt guards for this. So, yeah, pop that off. Undo your easy start. Then I just pull that hoop to the side. Pull your easy start off. I said I gotta fix this wire right here. Terminal. So I'll do that in a second. Just want to show you though. The one-way roller. It'll slip on you, you know, it starts wearing out and whatnot. Then oh man, I gotta tear it apart. I gotta replace it and put a new one on there. Hey, happy holidays. What's up, Stones? I am demonstrating how to not buy a new one-way roller when they start slipping on your easy start or pull start systems from being a little wore out or whatever. Most of the time people replace them, and you don't necessarily have to spend the money to buy a new one. There's a little hack or repair you can do that is actually essential for me that I do on all of my 3.3s and Jatos. So you can do it without without taking the motor back plate off, or you can take it off. I'm going to take it off. Actually, I'm not, because I sealed that one and I don't want to redo the seal. So right on. Appreciate it, man. So you can do this. I usually use a Dremel. It's because I usually have them off and I use a Dremel to do it with a little sanding wheel. I'll pull one out here, right here, and show you, because I'm not necessarily going to be able to show you down here on the motor what I'm doing. But, so when it starts slipping, yeah, I get it. I'm pretty meticulous about mine as well. Every time I play with them, I use like canned air, my air compressor, blow them off, wipe them down with towels, and that kind of stuff before I put them away. So I don't like putting them away all dirty and having them all grungy and stuff. This is one of my dirtier ones, but it's really clean overall compared to most people's. But anyway, so you want to make note of where it stops. The shaft stops on the motor back plate there. Then you just pop it out. Take your Dremel, a file, sandpaper, and you just want to make you some marks all the way down or all the way around that shaft, but don't go past where it goes through the motor back plate, because you could create a leaking issue with that. But if you do that and you have a slipping one-way roller, it will stop slipping and you won't have to spend money to buy a new one-way roller right then and there, and you'll not be so frustrated because it doesn't want to start or grab. So I'm just going to wipe this up here, and then I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper. It's probably like I don't know, 220 or something. It's not super coarse, but of course you could use whatever to get the job done. And yeah, just make your marks on there. You could use a file. Like I said, I usually tear it off and use the Dremel, but it's usually because I have it off already, and it just makes it easier, you know? Like I said, just give you some roughness to that shaft, because it just ends up being too smooth for the roller to grab a hold of it and crank. So if you just rough that sucker up a little bit, you'll save yourself from buying a one-way roller, $20, $30 one-way roller. You could use a file. You could use whatever you could get or have that will allow you to got a little bit of grip on it. There's a little file here. That one kind of sucks, to be honest with you. So I kind of want to go grab a different sandpaper. But they're far. Not really, they're over there. They're just right over there. All right, let me lift you up here a little bit. There you go. This is almost a little too fine for these hard shafts. Yeah, I'm gonna grab another piece of sandpaper just real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Just grabbed a piece of 220 real quick. Like I said, just get you some roughness to that thing overall, so it's not just so smooth. And that's all you really need. You want to look in on the motor plate? Is that what you want to do? What I'm doing? Want to see that? I don't know if I could zoom. Here, I'll take you over there. How's that? You see that? So I've kind of roughed it up there. It's not just smooth. It's got some scratchy lines in it. See that? That's basically all you're looking for. That's all you want to see overall. So the symptoms are you'll be trying to start your car, and instead of the motor going and turning over, it'll just like and not turn over, and won't start. So it just ends up slipping. Is what it's doing. Is this the one-way roller is just slipping on that shaft and not turning over the motor. It's like unmistakable for sure. Yeah. So I'm doing this because this one was starting to do it, slip, and struggle to start and whatnot. And this is one of the ones I play with more regularly. So I just wanted to fix it and I guess show what I do to fix it without buying a new one-way roller. I have more one-way rollers, new ones, but I don't replace them unless I absolutely have to. Then, yeah. And remember this, whenever you're doing your one-way rollers, the riding on the roller or the flat spot always goes in towards the motor. And the little raised nipple part goes out into the starter. And yeah, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. As well as I need to put a new terminal on this harness because I don't know if you can see this, but the terminal broke and doesn't attach to the, oh shoot, sorry. It doesn't attach to the motor anymore. So I've got new terminals. I'm just going to clip it on there instead of replacing the whole harness. Most people just replace the whole harness. But I'll just put a new terminal on it. I've got the boots and the terminals to do so. So, to me, the harness isn't wrecked and doesn't need to be replaced, the whole thing, just repaired. So yeah, as far as that goes, it's normal crimpity crimpity. You know, strip it back and get her on there. Make sure you always put your boot on first. Actually, I don't think you need to put your boot on first on these. It's not like super normal or like the other ones. But I've got too much wire there. So I'm going to clip it back a little bit. And then I'm going to crimp this on there. You can also get Uh, so are you wanting like quieter servos for like your Jato or for your other car? Um, I do have a servo recommendation. I, sir, love the Savics. They are amazing. They have the metal gear, they're digital, and their rate overall is quick. The response is quick. Um, I have these for throttle and steering on 3 of my Jatos, and they're amazing. They're amazing. It's really heavy. So you could get like the high torque. Which one is that? 2075X by Traxxas. 2075X is a high torque waterproof, I believe, metal gear. But like I said, man, I personally love these Savics brand servos. They are like unmatched. For me, they're unmatched. I love them. I love their rate. I love their response. They're quiet. Throttle wise, they're snappy. They snap uh, like instantly. So I really like the Savics brand as far as new or upgraded different servos. Other than that, I use the like higher end Traxxas servos. If it's just a whatever car or truck, but I'll use like the higher end, high torque Traxxas ones for that kind of thing. Like my trucks, I have Revos, I have T-Maxes, and I use the Traxxas brand high torque waterproof servos on those for steering whatnot. And they're heavy, dude. So if it's not a good servo, then it's gonna struggle to turn and stuff. But I don't have that issue with the servos that I put on and I use. I always use the higher end Traxxas high torque waterproof generally. But Savics, dude, check into some Savics servos. I love them. Love Savic servos. All right, let's crimp this on here and fix this guy. Just gonna pinchy get it all crimped on both sides. Yeah, a lot of people will just replace the whole harness when they break a clip. I don't think they're noisy, dude. They are pricey and can be pricey, but I don't know. I guess it really just depends what your preference is. For me, the Savics is not noisy, and what they offer overall, I'm looking for in a servo. So that's what I prefer and stick with. All right. When you're putting this back on here, since we didn't tear the whole motor off and whatnot, You're going to want to put the one-way back in there first. Oh, that's what I'm here for, man. That's why I started this overall. I want to spread knowledge. I want to help, dude. I really like to help people. And time and time again, I'd be looking at forums or other videos and the comments and whatnot. And there's so much like misinformation out there, especially about like the 3.3, dude, like the Traxxas 3.3. There's so much misinformation out there, dude. It's sad. So I just like I got a lot of years of experience doing this stuff, and a lot of the stuff I keep reading and seeing and hearing, it's not true. That's not how it should be. That's not the case. And a lot of people hate the 3.3, the 3.3 carb, like the stock carb, and really what I've come to assume is they hate it because they don't understand it as a whole and or aren't very good with the nitro motors, period. Dude, I've got expensive 11K carburetors that everybody swears is the best thing to have on these. I have 2 of them, but I have never, ever in over 20 years, dude, had a reason to put a $100 carburetor on my 3.3 because I know and understand what's going on here as a whole. Oh, a lot of people really struggle with nitros. A lot, dude, and especially the 3.3. Like, for sure, a lot of people struggle with nitros as a whole and the 3.3 as a whole. Yeah, see, I've played with 2-stroke 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and that kind of stuff. But, like, I've been doing mechanics, auto, ATV, like all mechanics, including I'm an industrial maintenance tech. That's what I do for a living. So I fix and work on big equipment, complicated equipment. So my understanding of mechanics and things of that nature as a whole is a little bit better. But like I said, man, when I first started into nitros, it wasn't like easy, you know. I had to learn a lot. And when I first started into nitros, Traxxas nitros, there was no information out there, dude. There was nothing. You couldn't find anything. And so, like, I just had to learn it all by myself. Yeah, see, so that's one of the things I've been trying to stress overall, dude. Um, you shouldn't have to retune. Dude, I've got cars that I've had for years that I tuned one time in the summer, and I could take them off the shelf right now, throw gas in it, and go and drive it. And it is not summer here right now. I'm talking, I tuned them for 100-degree weather, or in 100-degree weather. It's 50 something degrees outside right now, and I could throw gas in it without preheating the motor, right off the shelf, fuel, start, get to ripping, and it performs exactly the same way it did when it was 100 degrees outside at half the temperature, cold. You shouldn't have to retune. If you're constantly retuning, I promise you this, something is wrong. Something is wrong. You're leaking air, and most of the time it's your leaking air. You have a O-ring that's bad, or you've got a crack somewhere in a carburetor housing or a crankcase. Like, for sure, something is wrong. Well, I mean, and you don't have to. And like I said, Dude, these motors aren't going to care overall what temperature it is outside after they've been running, they're warmed up, and they're breathing fire. They ain't going to give a shit if it's 50 degrees outside or 100. Is it going to affect the overall temperature of the motor? Yes. Is it going to be run a little bit different? Yes. But like retuning because all of a sudden like my car has no more power and it's fucking weird and shit again or weird or something, that's not the case. If that is the case, you need to dig into that sucker and figure out what's wrong, because for sure something is wrong. You're leaking air. Most likely you're leaking air. Or you're starving for fuel or getting too much fuel because of a dirty carb or a dirty filter or something of that nature. But if you're constantly retuning your car, no matter what, especially if it's in the same time of year as far as like summer, winter, all that shit, if you're constantly retuning, dude, there's something wrong. You should not have to constantly retune your car. If everything is right, 100% as a whole, and you've got your car tuned one day, ripping, and then the next day, it's the same temp outside overall, and then all of a sudden your car is running like shit, and you need to retune, something's wrong, dude. You shouldn't have to do that. Shouldn't have to do that. I'm going to take this car out in a minute, and I'm going to put gas in it, and I'm gonna fucking rip it, dude. I tuned it for in the summer. It's winter months here, colder, and this damn thing is like running hella rich. You'll see. I'll take it out there. I'll do it on video. It's running hella rich, dude. And this thing is gonna breathe fire, suck gas, and haul ass. I don't have to fuck with the tune. I don't, dude. And the minute I have to fuck with the tune, at period, I'm gonna start digging into what the fuck changed. Why is it changing? Why is it different? Dude, I bought cars from the other side of the country, got them here to my house, put gas in them, and fucking ripped, bro. They ripped. They still rip. I have two different cars that came from the East Coast. I live on the West Coast. I put gas in them suckers, and they rip, bro. And they still rip. And I never touched the tune. Like, we're talking the whole country apart difference. And the cars are ripping and shit. So, but you talk to other people, and they're going to fucking blow smoke up your ass and tell you, like, oh, your altitude and humidity and all this shit. Like, yeah, it's a factor overall, dude, but if everything is right, that fucking car shouldn't need to be retuned. It's not the case. And if it is, figure out what's fucked up, because you definitely got something fucked up. But people don't want to admit that. They just want to blame it on nitro, Jatos and Traxxas sucks, and that's not the case, dude. So let's slap this back on here and see if we can go rip it. We got our new terminal, so. Oh, dude, even, hey, Stones, even then, man, if you're racing them and you've got, like, good money put into a really, really, really nice car, motors, overall. ¿Cómo? ¿Qué fue tu pregunta? Spanish. Creo que sí, Spanish. Ah, ¿eres preguntando qué es esto? ¿O qué estoy haciendo? Estoy arreglando uno motor de starter y uno cable. Thank you. So yeah, I was having problems with the one-way roller slipping on the motor when I was starting it. So I was just doing a little repair, and then I had a broken terminal that I just replaced on the starter as well. We're just gonna put it back together and take it out and give it a rip. But Stones, if you've got a lot of money into a car, as far as motor, and you've got, tuning, I mean, you should probably buy some new stuff or check into something. Because I feel the same way, man. Like, you may need to tinker a little bit, but dude, if everything is right, you should be able to rip, especially if you spent a lot of money on a fancy race setup. All right, let me just slip this sucker back on there. Just like that. Slip it back in there. And then you got your wires out of the way. Yeah, and you just tighten her up. I like to cheat or be smart. I use electrics. Let me raise you guys up here a little bit. Sorry. Not necessarily Stones. I do some speed tests sometimes, especially when like I do modifications of the motor, things of that nature. I will try and see like what I can get it up to and things like that. Oh, the green one, the $100 bill one. So I finished that, and I actually gifted that to my really good friend. That was a gift that I was building for him. So it's done, and it's at its new home at his house on the shelf. He doesn't. He's never driven one of these or had one of these or anything like that. So he probably won't really play with it ever. But I just wanted to give him a nice one and the opportunity to play with it if he felt like it. That was an expensive build, dude. That was like a $900 build. It's had hydro dipped $100 bills on it is what it was. I'm gonna do an American flag one next. Yeah, there we go. Just a couple more things here. And we'll throw some gas in it and go and rip. Yeah, it was. It was a really expensive build, dude. Like I did all the RPM upgrades and the fancy this and that and everything, but like the hydro dip job that I had done to it was what kind of pushed it up there as far as that went, because having those parts done was like $250 and shit like that. But it was something I wanted to do for him as a way to show my appreciation and give him the chance to like try it and get into it if he wanted to, you know. So yeah, it was a pricey build. But the American flag one that I'm gonna do It's probably going to be, it'll be more expensive than that one, just because I had more of the parts actually dipped in the hydro dipping, and I also have like yeah, the Patriot Jato, the Freedom Jato is what we call it. Uh, then yeah, so I did like a lot of upgraded parts, CVD axles, you know, the brake, the double disc brake, which is totally unnecessary, dude. And just like a bunch of upgrades overall. And stones, I run the 33%. Must do, sir, yes. Uh, a must have for your JATOs are the upgraded RPM control arms. They are a must have, dude. A must have. And then there's a video on my page that shows you how to adjust your brakes properly. Because every JATO straight from the factory, the brakes suck. They suck, they suck, they suck. And there's a video on my YouTube that shows the proper adjustment of them. And they won't suck so bad anymore at all, really. You can get a $50 double disc brake upgrade, but it's not necessary. You can get the same performance out of the stock ones if you just adjust them right. Stones, I'm not sure if you can get it there either, but if you can get like at least a 30% nitro, don't reverse the brake lever. Stones, don't reverse the brake lever, dude. Just adjust them, like I showed on my video on my page. It's not necessary, bro. It's not necessary to do that. So what I'm saying is you don't need to change the dynamics of all of that and flip it and swap it. If you just adjust them like I showed on the brake adjustment video on my page, you don't need to swap it. It's not necessary. I've had it both ways. I've swapped it and done all that shit, and I prefer to have it normal and adjusted properly. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, at minimum, like I would say 20, but I really like 30 or more because of the performance you get as a whole. That's crazy. You guys are limited to 10 and what, 10 and 16? Woo! Man. Oh, how do your JATOs like that? How's that 3.3 like that? I don't even think I've seen one that low. Oh yeah, that sucks, dude. But I mean, yeah, if it works, but man, the way that these things run here on like 30 or more, even 20, but the way they run here on 33% nitro, man, it's insane, dude. Yeah, no, you'd have to like, your tuning would have to be like, well, super lean just to get some of like what we would get on a rich tune here. Like I said, this one right here, this car, I got a little bit of motor work done to it, and nothing too crazy, and it's running super rich, and man, it is an absolute beast. Like an absolute beast. Like it gets after it. This is one of the last ones I did a speed run with, and 78 is what I was able to get out of this without being like super, super lean or anything. Yeah. Yeah, leading them out is going to be one of your best bets overall. Like for real. We're almost here. Yeah, dude, 78, man, 78. Like I said, that's running a really, really rich tune. Uh, you'll see right now if you stick with me until I'm done putting this together, how this thing just be shitting out the smoke and it gets after it, dude. Yeah, Jatos, ellos son muy rápidos. Me gusta mucho los Jatos. Porque ellos son rápidos. I mean, if you guys don't know, i.e. the name of the channel, Jato Junkies, I, sir, absolutely love the Jato. And when I say I love the Jato, I love the Jato. It's a little bit of my collection here. I have another one there. No, I always use the factory carb. I have two of the OS carbs, but I have never used an OS carb because I've never had the need to. They've always done great as far as the stock carb goes. I've never had any reason to change them to a $100 OS carb. But like I said, I have two OS carbs over here in my drawer, and I don't have any reason to put one of them on my cars yet. I mean, I'm going to build a pretty modified 3.3 and put one on there. But as far as just my normal drivers at this point, dude, the stock carb has done everything I needed it to and then some. No. Stones, it doesn't need a restock, man. All of those empty spots have cars that go on there. They're just not setting on there right now. I actually need to put up another shelf. So I'm going to do the Freedom Jato. And I got those couple of Vortex over there, and I want to put all my Jatos and Vortex together. What I need to do is set up something to organize my parts, my spare parts and whatnot. I've started doing my motors a little bit, but I've got an OS Big Block 21 that I'm looking to maybe put on a Jato. I just recently got one of the Dynamite Mach 2.19s that everybody talks about being the business as far as 3.3 replacement. So we're going to throw that on a car and see what that's about. I'll definitely be posting that too. So we got a few options coming up overall. But yeah, like I said, I got that OS 21 Max Big Block that I kind of want to throw it on a Jato, see what that's all about, because people blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so if you're talking about like the 3.3 tuned pipes, you got like two options, dude. You got the standard uh, blue tuned pipe with the B in it, which is a bottom to mid range enhancement tuned pipe, and then you've got the T, which is mid to top end RPM enhancement dual chamber pipe. Other than that, you'd have to go with like I don't know, like a one of the Dynamites or the other brands that are out there that people talk about. Like an add-on onto your tuned pipe. I mean, the only add-ons I know of for the pipes or the resonator are the like the deflectors. You can get a deflector. No, there's not like an add-on like that. I mean, you can get a deflector, which is a little silicone piece that you put on there that's supposed to help get the oil and exhaust and all that stuff a little farther away from the car. But like as far as add-on to a muffler you have already, no. You can change your resonator to like a top end, mid to top end enhancement. But or you can change it overall as a whole. I like the deflector. That little elbow thing right there. That's a deflector. You get them in black. You get them in blue. Uh, those are the stock track or the standard Traxxas ones. You can get them in other colors, but they won't be like. Uh, yeah, they won't fit the same. It's kind of hard to get one that's a different brand that's not Traxxas to be right overall as a whole, I guess, in my experience. I've tried to get other colors, but you run into them being too big and the zip ties won't hold them on ever, or too small and they crack because of the heat and them being too small. So, all right, let's put this on here real quick and see if we can go give it a rip. I forgot this needs a new steering servo. Steering servo in this one's she's sad. She's hurting. She's slow. I gotta show you this real quick though. There's that Dynamite Mach 2. Looks pretty sweet. So hopefully it's amazing. All right, I think we're ready. Should we go out for a rip? Yes, I have Traxxas telemetry on several of my cars. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it, especially the TSM telemetry. That TSM is trash, dude. It's just a gadget. I don't think it's useful for tuning, no. It's nice to see your RPMs and your temperature, but dude, that has you distracted on a phone screen trying to read that stuff and check that out. And like you could just take your temp gun real quick, hit it, see it, and know overall. Yeah, the telemetry and the TSM and the telemetry and all that stuff. I mean, it's cool because you can change some things like with the app. You can change like steering endpoints and or reverse like servos, things of that nature. And there's a couple other things that like you can do with it that is kind of useful, like for me, I guess. But at the same time, like I can just do that shit manually from the remote as well. So it's not like that useful. I mean, it's a cool little gadget, I guess, but it's not like, oh man, that's so awesome type deal. One more second here, guys. I gotta reattach this power switch. Power switch came off. Like the no, dude. So your actual um your TQI Bluetooth remotes can connect to up to like 35 cars, like 35 different radios, and you can connect them to both the TQI and the TQ radios, and it will remember what car it is when you turn it on, and you turn the car on, then turn the radio on, and the transmitter on, and it will recall whatever receiver you have turned on at that point. So no, it's not. It's not true. What is true is that you can program multiple, up to 35 cars, trucks, whatever, vehicles to one transmitter, and only have one transmitter for up to 35 vehicles. No, the app can connect to multiple transmitters, and have multiple cars per transmitter. And it will recall them. The app will recall whatever car it is that you're connected to the remote at that time on the app. Whatever one it is, it will have been saved. Yeah, so you can connect multiple uh, transmitters to the app, and you can connect multiple uh, cars to one transmitter. The Jato transmission is pretty reliable, yes. When you start doing like power modifications and certain things, you can get into where you're stripping gears and stuff like that. They can still sell steel and aluminum gear upgrades for the Jato transmission. They're like $100, but if you want to be like, I'm never gonna replace a gear in this sucker again, that's what you'll get. I mean, that's what you'll want to get. I've got it in two of my cars, and I'm gonna have it in a third. All right, let's see here. We need let's get this turned on. All right. We need some fuel. We need some fuel. Oh, I almost forgot to tighten that too. Oops. Don't want to do that. All right. Now we need a body. 1 second. Yeah, I don't think with 16% nitro, even at its leanest, you will need that. Hey, what's up, Quan Bills? Yeah, no problem, man. Help me grow the channel, dude. I wanna get this stuff out there and help people and try and crush all the bad information that people put out there. These cars are severely misunderstood, and they're not that difficult, dude. They're not. They shouldn't be. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Like I said, this thing is tuned for summertime. 100-degree weather. 90, 100-degree, dude, weather. It's running very rich. Very rich. It is currently 48 degrees outside. 48 degrees. Okay. This car was tuned in the summer. 100 degrees. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to play with the tune. I'm going to put this body on here. I mean, yeah, if you want to give it a little bit of a tweak because you want it to perform a little bit better, yeah, no problem. But if you're like struggling with the tune and retuning and struggling with the tune every time you play with it, there's something wrong, bro. I like never play with my tune. Like never. After I tune the car, I'm good to go. And I actually have, I use a tuning box. I posted a video about it on my page. I made a tuning box that I pretty well preset my tune as a whole on the tuning box. And then if I need to tweak it just a little bit after I put the motor on the car, then I will. But for the most part, if I tune it on the tuning box well enough, when I slap it in the car, it doesn't need to be played with. We need to, I'm going to have to get my tripod out here. All right. Got the starter. Got the remote. Yep, it's time to go burn. I'm gonna grab my tripod and set you up on my tripod. Yeah, they're still inner gears. I only do those if like I'm tearing up the trannies too often. Oh, dude, all my car bellies are in amazing shape, bro. I am a stickler for my chassis not being scratched and chewed up. I'm very, very meticulous with my cars overall, dude. Okay. Try and get you set up here. All right. All right. Let's grab the car. And let's get her fired up. Forgot to open the gas, guys. Or undo the clip. Here we go. Oh, she's rich, man. Like I said, she runs rich, but got all the power you want. She's got all the power you want, running super rich. Like I said, man, she rips. I don't play with the tunes. Yeah, I want to lean her out a little bit eventually, but she does everything I want the way she is, so I don't mess with it. Oh, I'm gonna do an ultimate build for sure. She's running out of gas. Look, old lady's coming home. Still need to lock the diff on this one. Out of gas. So like I was saying, man, as long as everything is right, dude, if you've got everything sealed, you've got a decent tune about your carb, there's no need whatsoever to constantly retune. No need to constantly retune. It's not necessary. Yeah, I love the 2-speed. Yeah, it starts straight. Like I said, man, they'll start up every time. Perfect. Like, they'll start right away. They'll rip, dude. And like I said, I tuned this in the summer when it was like 100 degrees outside. It's like 50 out here right now. And this motor actually, like I said, it's got a little bit of work done to it overall, but this is the oldest, tiredest motor that I have in my arsenal. Like, it was super low on compression, and then I decided I was going to tinker with it a little bit, play around, and make some modifications, threw it back together, tuned it just the way you see it right now. And I mean, she braps after it, dude. And she's old and tired, I promise you that. I've got motors in there that are brand new and do the Jato thing like they're supposed to, and this old little tired 3.3 I got right here will spank its ass, dude. It's the fastest one I have. It's faster than my buddy I play with, my brother I play with. There isn't a car in my arsenal at this point that can beat it in any way. I can start behind it, I can start next to it, and I can beat whatever other car all day long with this old tired little freaky monster that I got here. So it's just all in how you tune your car and how well you're sealed and put together overall. Like I said, man, I said it once, I'll say it again. It doesn't have to be that hard. You don't have to constantly retune. I mean, you may retune if like you feel you have a little bit different performance in the colder months, but not overall, dude. Like, you really don't need to. Oh, you're very welcome, Stones. Yeah, so right now, dude, all of my cars are running the stock spur and bell gears. I don't really have a recommendation on like changing. I hear that if you put the Revo gearing on them, uh, it makes them pretty fucking giddy overall. But I don't know because I've never really changed them um, to anything but stock. I just run stock. Um, and I've only done tuning modifications and or motor modifications overall to get higher speeds, more power as a whole. So, and I've always just ran the 3.3 um, and the stock carb and all that stuff. Like I said, dude, I have every version of the Jato since the first one that came out. The 2.5, I have the original 2.5. I have the original 2.5R, and I have every variation of the 3.3. And even my 2.5, there's a video on my page, a short or a video, whatever, on my page of a little red Jato ripping back and forth, and that's a 2.5. And you wouldn't know that that's a 2.5 the way that it's just getting after it. But yeah, that's a 2.5, man. It's a little small motor original 2.5. And again, that's all in the tuning, dude. I literally could bust that sucker out right now and gets to ripping on it, and she gonna rip and rip well. Promise you that. And she is not running lean at all in any way. She has healthy smoke blowing out overall, and very, very well tuned. And like I said, dude, that car, in all the years that I've had that car, um, I cleaned the carburetor on it once and factory reset on it once, and I've never ever had to retune that 2.5 other than when I did the cleaning on it. So if you're having issues with your tuning, just check into how clean your carburetor is and see if maybe it needs to be cleaned and reset, or check your O-rings on your needles, on the carburetor as a whole. You're supposed to have two, one in the motor, one on the base of the carb. Just like check all your O-rings and make sure you're not leaking. And another place they end up leaking as well is at the motor back plate. Where do I got that thing? Right here. They leak at this O-ring, so it doesn't quite seal the greatest. That's why I use this in junction with that O-ring. I seal all my motors with this, and make sure that I don't have a leak at my motor back plate, causing me an issue. I also usually put a little bit of that on the carburetor base O-ring here. I'll put a little bit of that here, and I mean just a light little coat when I put them in, and replace them or change them or build them, whatever the case may be. If I pull them out, if I get a new motor, before I run it, I'll tear the motor back plate off, I'll seal it, I'll take the carburetor off, I'll seal it, put it on there, and just make sure I'm 100% overall sealed so that I can not have a tuning issue. And like I don't have to retune on a regular basis, and or like never. Out of all these cars that I got, the Revos, the Jatos, the T-Maxes, the Vortex, I once I tune and I'm ripping, that's where it stays. That's what it is. And I don't ever really change it from there ever, honestly. Then unless like like I said, if something goes weird for some reason or another and it's not the way I remember it or the way I want it, then I'm not going to sit and try and dick with the tune. I honestly am going to take that off. I'm going to take that motor off and I'm going to pull it apart and I'm going to see what's going on. Because in my experience, once I've lost my tune, either my carburetor O-rings are bad on one of the needles or some shit like that, or I've got a crack in the carburetor housing, or something, you know. So I don't play the retune game and get frustrated and shit because I can't figure out how to get it tuned. Because I already know once I've lost my tune, after all these years of keeping a tune and not having to tune, once I've lost my tune, I know there's an issue somewhere. So if you're having tuning issues and constantly retuning because they're not the way they were the last time you set them, or in the middle of running they're losing their tune, like, dude, there's a problem, bro. There's a problem. Like, there's a problem. And a lot of people don't understand that the little O-rings on the needles and stuff, like, you leak air through there, that'll cause you a tuning issue. It's a tuning nightmare. Yeah, no problem, dude. For sure. Well, I got you. I've been doing this for a long time. And like I said, I got a ton of experience when it comes to these Traxxas cars and the 3.3, the Nitro 3.3, and like tuning as a whole. One of the best things I ever did, honestly, dude, was figuring out or like building the tuning box and playing with the tunes and stuff on a tuning box um, putting it in the car. Yes, a small hole in the fuel line could be wicked as well. Generally, you can tell because you'll see bubbles, and or you'll always have like the fuel starvation or tuning that may be the issue with a fuel line. Um, but generally you don't get a hole in your fuel line before you do a bad O-ring or a crack in your carb housing or something of that nature. But another thing that people struggle with and fail to remember is the air filters. There's a reason it says clean after every hour of runtime, right? I mean, it's real, bro. It's real. So, I mean, if more people stayed up on top of that, they wouldn't run across a tuning issue because it's lagging on air. Even though it looks clean, it's not clean. Like, pull it out, keep spare elements, throw a new one in there, clean your old one, have it for the next time. But people forget to do that, you know? And it's crazy, dude. Yeah, me too. I keep a ton, actually. Well, obviously, because I got so many vehicles, but I keep a ton of spare elements and filter housings and whatnot so that I can just clean it, have a new one on there right now, and keep playing. This is another thing I do. Like I said, I'm pretty meticulous about my cars. It's like I clean them off when I'm done playing with them before I put them away. Pull all the junk out of them. Oh yeah, dude, I've got so much air filter oil and elements and stuff. Like, I got a ton, dude. And I probably don't even wait an hour of runtime overall. I follow a little different concept usually. I do like quarts of fuel because sometimes it'll take me a while to get through like an hour of runtime. So even if I have them sitting on the shelf and I've only run one tank through them or whatever, I'm generally gonna tear the filter off put a clean one on there and wash that one just from the dust that may have collected on it overall. So I still gotta do the after run on that and whatnot. I'll do that in a minute. But I really appreciate you guys subscribing and commenting and liking, sharing, dude. You guys rock. So like I said, if you need to get a hold of me, you can email me jato.junkies@gmail. Okay. I also made a Facebook. There's a Facebook for Jato Junkies. It's just Jato Junkies on Facebook. Look us up, add us, follow us, whatever. Message me on there. It's a good way to get a hold of me as well. So let me know what you guys need. I'm here to help, dude. That's what this is all about. That's why I started this channel. That's why I'm trying to build this channel. I got a ton of experience, a ton of knowledge overall, with most everything: Nitro, Traxxas, Nitro, Jato, and lots of other things too, man. It's not just limited to RC cars and Nitro RC cars. So if you want to get a hold of me and you think I can help, yeah, Facebook, Jato Junkies, email, jato.junkies@gmail. Just check me out, dude. Hit me up. Yeah, so all right, Stones. I'll tell you about that right now. I'm very biased when it comes to glow plugs, brands, blah 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 blah, whatever. Okay, that's another thing that a lot of people talk trash on is the Jato glow or the Traxxas glow plugs. Man, they say that like they're junk and you need to use a better one. Blah 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 blah. Get you one of these plugs. Da 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 da. I'll tell you what I won't do and what I'm not doing. I'm not buying a different brand of glow plug and using a different brand of glow plug because those go along the lines of tuning. Okay? Dude, I've got cars over here that's been running the same glow plug for years. Years, dude. And I just used the Traxxas glow plugs. It was like the 3032 or whatever. I use the standard Traxxas glow plugs. I love them. I keep them by the dozens. I don't see or have a need to search a different plug to fix an issue that I'm not having. Yeah, you can mix and match. You can use other plugs. There's a as long as it's the with the medium long or whatever, you can use other plugs, yes, or other brands. I personally, like I said, I've never had an issue with Traxxas plugs, and even when I did have an issue, I knew that the issue was caused by tuning or a motor problem, not a glow plug problem. Because, like I said, once I got good at tuning and being able to hold the tune and that kind of stuff, dude, I never had an issue with glow plugs after that. And when I did, I knew that there was a problem with the motor. So these guys that have those issues with glow plugs and hates the Traxxas glow plugs, they got issues with their tunes and their motors and just don't want to admit it, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, dude, I've had a Jato since they came out. I've had Traxxas Nitros for over 20 years. I've been playing with them for over 20 years. So, just saying. I don't think there is a time limit, dude. I've got plugs in cars over here, dude, that have been in there for 5 years. 5 years, bro. It's been in there for 5 years. And I still can start them right up and drive them. So, yeah, so flooding will tear up a plug. Too rich can foul and blow a plug. Too lean can foul and blow a plug. But yeah, like I said, dude, I I don't have issues with that, and that all comes down to the performance and tuning on your motor. I have, I don't know, 60 glow plugs, Traxxas glow plugs. Um, but I have and play with a lot of motors and cars and trucks, so I kind of like to have an abundance of whatever I'm going to be working on, I guess. But yeah, check us out on Facebook. Friend us on Facebook. Message me on there. Send me email if you guys need me. I'll be back. I gotta get off here because I've got to do the aftercare on this, and I got to get ready to go and go do the work thing. Yeah, I got a lot of nitros, dude. I got 3 Vortex, 2 Revos, 2 T Maxes, a ton of Jatos. So yeah. All right, Gene. Yeah. Hope to see you soon. Hope to hear from you again. Y'all have a good night, good evening, happy holidays and whatnot. I appreciate y'all. Talk to you soon.